Okay guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to look at how to calculate the sides in a right angle triangle, and by that I mean the shorter sides. Okay, you already know how to calculate the hypotenuse. Okay, now the book uses the word legs. I find that a bit silly, so we're just going to call them the shorter sides. Okay, so we will start with a right angle triangle, so let's make it this guy. Okay. His right angle. We'll call him M and O, just for something different. Okay, and we will label this side as 6 centimeters and this side as 9 centimeters. Okay, now we know we want to find this side over here. Okay, first thing we're going to do, as usual, is we're going to start by quickly just labeling our sides. So the side opposite M, one with the question mark on it, is going to be small m. The side opposite N, the hypotenuse, is going to be called little n. Okay, and the side opposite O, the 6 centimeter side, is going to be called O. Okay, again, we always start with writing the formula. Now, we know normally that we use a squared plus b squared is c squared. Okay, but we have different letters here. So instead of a and b, we're going to have o and m. So we have o squared plus m squared is equal to, and we know that n is our hypotenuse, so it's going to be n squared. Okay, now we can keep going with this. Okay, so we can make our substitutions here. Instead of o, we will write 6, because that's on the o side. So 6 squared plus, instead of m, well, it's still m because we don't know it, is equal to, and n is 9, so 9 squared. Okay, we can keep going with this. So 6 squared is 36 plus m squared is equal to 9 squared is 81. Okay, so everything's simplified now. Now we just need to get m by itself. So on the left side here, we have 36 plus m squared. So we want to get rid of that 36. So we are minusing 36 from both sides. Okay, the left, now we have m squared. And the right, we now have 81 minus 36, which is 45. Okay, now we want to find m, so we just write m is equal to the square root of 45. Okay, now again, this is in exact form, and just to remind you guys, we can also simplify this. So this is the same as the square root of 9 times 5, which is equal to 3 root 5. Okay, this would be if we were asking for this in exact form. Okay, but we did give you a distance, and typically when we give you a distance as a final answer, we do want a decimal. So let's go to our calculator. We want to know the square root of 45, and we want that as a decimal, which is 6.71. So m is approximately equal to 6.71 centimeters. Okay, now just remember your hypotenuse is always the longest side. So if you get an answer for m that's longer than the hypotenuse, then you know you've made a mistake. Okay, now we're going to do one more where I won't give you the triangle to start with. Okay, so we'll say in triangle ABC, let's not use ABC, let's go XYZ. Okay, we will say angle Y is 90 degrees. Okay, we will say side Y is equal to 12 meters. Okay, and we will say side X is equal, or let's make it Z. We'll find X because that's a bit nicer for you guys. Z is equal to 8 meters. Okay. So now we want to find x. Okay, now in this case, so what is the length of side x? Okay, now in this case, we need to start by drawing the triangle. Okay, so sometimes we give you the info, but we don't actually give you the triangle. So we need to draw that first. Now you know that we have a right angled triangle no matter what. So just draw a right angled triangle. Okay, any right angled triangle will do. Okay, put some labels on it. Now here, it's really important that you label them correctly. We said here that angle y is 90 degrees. So that means that y needs to be that 90 degrees. So we need to put our y here. Okay, now the other two, it doesn't matter where they are. So we can put an x here and a z here, no problem. Then we will label our sides. So the side opposite y is little y, the side opposite z is little z, the side opposite x is little x. Okay, we can now put distances on there. So we said little y is 12 meters. So this hypotenuse is going to be 12 meters. All right, and we said z is 8 meters. So we know that this one over here is 8 meters. Okay, x is the one we're trying to find. Okay, so if you're not given the information, sometimes you need to put that together yourself. Okay, so again, straight to the Pythagoras' theorem. Okay, we know that our hypotenuse is y, so we know it's going to be equal to y squared. Okay, our shorter sides are z and x, so z squared plus x squared is equal to y squared. Now, just in case you prefer a different notation, we could have also written this as y is xz. So we could have also written this as xz squared is equal to, okay, side z is actually side xy, so xy squared plus yz squared. Okay, so you can also write it in this notation if you like, okay, but it's not necessary. All right, so we know side z was 8, so we have 8 squared plus x squared is equal to 12 squared. Okay, that's just substitution from our picture. Okay, 8 squared is 64 plus x squared equals 12 squared, which is 144. Okay, so we need to show our steps. So we need to minus 64 from both sides. Okay, now we're going to have x squared on the left is equal to 80 on the right. Okay, if we take the square root of both sides, so x is equal to the square root of 80. Okay, then we know that we can do this now on a calculator. So we have the square root of 80, and as a decimal, that is 8.94. So x is approximately equal to 8.94, and in this case, our unit of measurement was meters, so we're going to put meters here. Okay, and this is basically how to calculate the length of a side, a shorter side.